Hey, what is happening, y'all? Today I'm showing off my first take on Azumarill in the Surging Sparks format, and what is hopefully a return of a decent one-prize deck to the meta. So Azumarill, stage 1 Pokemon with 120 HP, has that Twinkling Soap ability that says its double edge attack only costs a Psychic Energy if we have a Terra Pokemon in play, and it does 230 damage, and then we do 50 damage to ourselves. We do have 120 HP, so we're not quite 2-hit KOing ourselves, but if our opponent doesn't attack us for 3 turns and we attack 3 times in a row, I guess we would KO ourselves, but if that means our opponent's just not attacking for a turn, I think we'd be okay with that trade-off. So of course we can only use this if we have a Terra Pokemon in play. I do have 4 Azumarill in the deck, and of course 4 Marill to evolve from. And currently I am rocking a pair of Pikachu EX to fulfill that Terra Pokemon in play. Because it has that Tenacious Heart ability, it can potentially survive some hits from our opponent. It does say if this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out by damage from an attack during our opponent's from our opponent's Pokemon, it is not knocked out and its remaining HP is instead 10. So pretty powerful ability. So I like the idea of the Pikachu X in here. The other good option, of course, would be the Fighting Ogerpon with its ability that says it can't be hit by any Pokemon with abilities, which severely limits the amount of Pokemon that can actually attack it. But I don't know, I like Pikachu X. It's the new Terra Pokemon, the new cool Terra Pokemon. So I currently have 2 Pikachu X in here instead of the old dusty Fighting Ogerpon. For the draw engine, I've decided to go with Liepard in here as the draw engine. I'm trying to avoid playing Ultra Ball overall, and because of that, I'm not running a B-Barrel line instead. So we're going with the Liepard. I'm also trying to avoid having to play switch cards, because B-Barrel has that 2 retreat cost, and I just have some rescue boards in here instead. So we'll keep going through the list so you can fully understand why I'm running the lines that I am, because I only play 3 per line. So it's a 3-4 Liepard line here. And hold on, we'll get to it. I have 1 Tatsugiri in here as well. Combos super well with the rescue boards that we have and helps us with some draw power throughout the game. So our board can look like 2 Marill, 2 Liepard, 1 Pikachu X, 1 Tatsugiri, or maybe 1 Manaphy if we're up against a deck with some bench sniping. It is a Arven build. It feels like everything is an Arven build these days. So we have 4 Arven. Iono's pretty good as well. So we have 4 of those. Of course, we need some Gust, so I have a couple Boss's Orders in here. And then I have 1 of Turo in here. Whoa. 1 of Turo in here. So that way we could potentially reset our Pikachu EX if our opponent gusts it up and punches it, or just tries to 2-hit KO it. Or we can potentially reset an Azumarill before it would knock itself out. Just 1 of those. Also, I went with the Azumarill, or I went with the Turo instead of a Penny, because I can also pick up the Liepard potentially, which could get stuck in the active. Now, Liepard only has 1 retreat cost, which is pretty cool. That's why I also like the Liepard over something like a Kirlia, or like I said, the B-Barrel. We have a decent amount of recovery in here. We are a 1-prize deck, so our opponent's gonna have to go through quite a few Azumarills to actually beat us. So because of that, I've went with a variety of Pokemon recovery. I'm not sure which of these is best. So we have the Tulip here, which recovers 4 in any combination of Psychic Pokemon and Psychic Basic Energy. We have a Lana's Rod here that recovers in any combination of Pokemon that don't have a rule box and basic energy cards. And then I have a Super Rod because it's a little bit more aggressive of a Pokemon recovery card and also can be found through Arven. The reason I'm split on the Tulip and the Lana's Aid is because it would be nice to be able to recover our Liepard line as well, potentially, which the Lana's Aid does, but the Tulip doesn't. But the Tulip does recover more pieces of our Azumarill, which is probably the thing we're going to be trying to recover more aggressively in general. So I'm not sure what the correct count or what the best recovery cards are, so I just went with 3 different ones for right now. And who knows, maybe in the end that will be the perfect count. All right, we got 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin and 4 Nest Ball. So we have a ton of basic search here. And that is why I've gone with a 3-4 Liepard line, because I don't play Ultra Balls, because I hate Ultra Ball. We always try and make every deck without Ultra Ball. So instead, I've gone with 4 Great Balls. When we play the Great Ball, it increases our odds of finding that Liepard because we play 4 of them, and it's pretty easy to find the Purloins because we have so much basic Pokemon search. I went with a Energy Lotto here because we do play the Legacy Energy as our A-Spec, and then we do need to find our basic Psychic Energy as well. So I have an Earthen Vessel in here for that. Now, I usually don't, and I don't recommend teching your deck out too much when you're going with a new build. We don't know exactly what the good decks in the format are going to be, and we don't know exactly what the meta is going to look like, but I'm going to go ahead and make a guess that Raging Ball will be pretty good, and it'll probably be playing Bravery Charm. So this does 230 damage with our Azumarill. So I do play a Lost Vacuum to potentially remove Bravery Charms. I also have a Counter Catcher, because being able to find Gust effects from Arven is pretty good. I also play a Canceling Cologne. Once again, I'm teching a little bit ahead of time maybe with this one, but Pikachu EX seems decent, and we would like a way to KO Pikachu EX, our opponent's Pikachu EX anyway, so I play a Canceling Clone in here to shut off their ability, so we can get through one Pikachu EX at least. Here are those rescue boards I've been talking about, and to combo with that Lost Vacuum, to remove that Bravery Charm from our opponent's Raging Bolt, I play a one of Vitality Band. So like I said, I usually don't like teching too far ahead of actually knowing exactly what's good in the format, what's good in the meta. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself with this build, I guess. I also play a one of TM Evolution to help us evolve into our stage ones a little bit more aggressively through the Arven potentially. And then we play 5 basic Psychic and 1 Legacy Energy to try and force our opponent to knock out 1 extra Azumarill throughout the game. All right, that's it. Let's go ahead. Let's shuffle this up, run through a quick solitaire game, and see how it does. All right, we're all shuffled up here. Let's go ahead and see what we can get done with the Azumarill deck. This is definitely a build where I feel like we'd want to choose second just to kind of prioritize and focus on setting up before we really have to get anything done. So that is a pretty decent hand. No complaints here. I'm going to go ahead and open that Marill here. Let's get our prize cards out. Hopefully they're not too bad. And we're going to choose, or we're going to assume we're going second here, playing a little bit more aggressively for setting up. So I've got Buddy Poffin and a Nest Ball and a Great Ball. So I'm going to start with the Great Ball here because I wouldn't mind seeing some more basic Pokemon, and ooh, okay, Pikachu EX sounds good to me. So we'll take the Pikachu EX. That'll make its way to our bench, and then let's go ahead and play this Nest Ball and Buddy Poffin. Go to ourselves a couple Purloins and probably another Marill here. I think is going to be the grab, and then I think we can just go in with that Iono and see a fresh 6 new cards. Not really looking for anything in particular here. I guess if I was looking for something, it would be like drawing into the TM Evolution would be pretty nice, but it's pretty unlikely, especially alongside energy to actually utilize it with. So we'll go into the Iono. Maybe depending on the situation, what we're up against, we could play the Lost Vacuum, getting rid of the Canceling Clone, or just burn the Canceling Clone if we're not up against Pikachu EX. Honestly, we're probably not. So let's go ahead and say we just burn the Canceling Clone here. Get rid of it. We don't want it in our deck anymore because we don't want to see it. Draw a fresh 6, and it's okay. Definitely seen better. I guess we do have the Arven for next turn. Buddy Poffin. I could bench the Tatsugiri if we don't need Manaphy at this point. So let's go ahead and say Tatsugiri makes its way to the bench. I'm okay with that. And then we'd pass over to our opponent. They would knock out our Marill, I'm sure. And then looking at my hand, I could go to just get the Energy Lotto or the Lotto off the Arven. So I think I am going to push up Tatsugiri here. Draw for turn, another Azumarill. So we're going to go with that Arven here. Get ourselves a rescue board. And potentially, hopefully it's not prized. Rescue board, hoping for Vessel. Vessel is prized. Okay, so I have to settle for the Energy Lotto. Hopefully we hit the Legacy Energy if we're using this, though. That's what we would want. And I'm going to go ahead and also grab a Marill here. So these two will go to our hand. I would then play the Buddy Poffin to go get another Marill onto our bench. No Purloins turn 1, or what's the cat called? It's not called Purloin, it's the other one. I'm literally Lipard. No Lipards turn 2, I should say. Is not what we're looking for, but it'll do. And we're going to go ahead and use Tatsugiri first here. We want to try and maximize our odds of the Energy Lotto actually hitting. So I'd use Tatsugiri first here. Top 7. And probably just settle for an Arven. I'm okay with that. There was no energy in that top 7 or top 6. Did I take top 7 there? Oh, I always forget Tatsugiri is top 6. Well, we'll pretend I went top 6. For some reason, I always think Tatsugiri is top 7. If you've ever been on my stream before, you know every time Tatsugiri comes up, I always surprise myself by reminding myself that it's only the top 6. I literally just think that the card is Pokegear. Okay, Energy Lotto, top 7. And, oh, the last one, there is our Psychic Energy. And let's go ahead and attack with our Azumarill on this turn 2. Rescue board, attach, evolve, retreat. And I don't know if we're KOing our opponent's active here. Are we KOing our opponent's active here? I don't know. What are they playing? Are we getting the knockout here? All right, sure. We'll take a 1 prize card. I don't know what they're playing that we only got 1 prize card, but they're playing it. Okay. Our Azumarill's definitely dead. We re-promote our Tatsugiri. Draw for turn. Another Iono. So we got Marill, Azumarill, and then I think we're just going in with an Iono here, getting 5 new cards. And we're hoping for, honestly, Lipards. That's what we want here. We want to set up our Lipards. Okay. Lipard number 1. We also need energy here. Going to the trade for two Azumarills. Okay, Great Ball. Looking at the top 7. We're hoping for another Liepard to hopefully lead us to an energy. We're gonna have to settle for the Pikachu EX. So we did whiff the turn 3, I guess I should say. I was gonna say turn 2. The turn 3 attack here, unfortunately. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the Azumarill deck. Hope you guys enjoyed the video as always. I'll catch y'all in the next one.